and then fighting off what we thought was a last-minute effort to kind of push back and change the procedures, to push back and even change the timing of these things. That didn't happen. The flurry of paper that was so accurately described by the Secretary of State as the reason why in courts we have rules that don't allow lawyers to do anything 3 to 5 days before the actual hearing. There was a flurry. The response that we got from Justice Anderson, I thought, was entirely appropriate in the circumstances, but we remain confident that the opinion of the Attorney General is, in fact, an accurate statement of the law, and we're not going to be seeing those ballots as part of this recount. And I think the fact that it's been set back a week or so, certainly, if they were truly interested on the Franken side to do something about it, they would have been pushing a lot harder to have that taken care of sooner. I think that was very good of the board to do, and we're certainly happy with that as well.
The campaign said they didn't want to delay the recount. Do you believe initially they did want to delay?
Well, that's what they were telling us, and that was certainly in that flurry of paperwork that we were seeing that they were coming up with. It seemed like 100 different reasons, somewhat of an exaggeration, but a lot of reasons why it shouldn't happen. We thought that it should. We're glad that it is. We're very pleased with what happened today. We think that we're 3 for 3 right now, and we're looking forward to being 4 for 4.
How many times have been what do you mean 4?
Well, this is the next time we've gone through the numbers. There is a number here now. It's 215 ahead. We view that, frankly, as another result, and we're expecting it to be the final result or something very much like it.
Are you telling us Coleman won?
Yeah, Coleman won.
How can you say Coleman won?
Because he's got more votes than the other side. That's how it works in our system.
They repeated it in the campaign board. They repeated it here, and yet you're saying
that's not the way we see it at all, and I don't think that's the way most people see it. And they're of course going through the formal process. There is the recount. There's going to be another number after that, and then it's I think probably going to be up to the Franken campaign whether or not they're willing to take that number.
Has the Minnesota court ever awarded a voter the right to have their vote counted after the election? Like, if one of these rejected absentee voters goes to the court to get the court order, has the court ever ordered this?
Perhaps. I'm not aware of a case, but perhaps. I don't know if you know.
No, not really. Obviously, in a notice of contest, certain ballots may be marked in a way, those are counted, despite the campaigns maybe having been at odds over that particular ballot. But with rejected absent ballots, there's absolutely no history, no precedent whatsoever to count a rejected absent ballot.
That's why they want to now get everything right, deserve to have their votes counted. I'm talking about those rejected absentee ballots. How do you address that?
We have rules, and you'll see in the cases that we cited, although cases I'm sure really fascinating. But the bottom line is we have rules to make sure that the process is correct and it's accurate and fair. And it's actually the responsibility of those voters to make sure that that vote gets where it's supposed to go. It's the responsibility of the voter to make sure that he shows up at the right polling place. I've had a number of people tell me that they got into the wrong precinct, got in line. All of that are things that we have in this system to assure that this is truly an accurate count and that there aren't any votes or voters that shouldn't be having their votes counted.
Specific examples that were cited.
I know what I know about those 4 examples strictly from what I've read in the newspaper, and I haven't really seen any evidence that there's been any wrongdoing of any kind on the part of any election official in Minnesota. And they may be frustrated. There are a lot of people that are frustrated about not being able to vote, on election day. But again, we're each and every one of us responsible for doing it right.
No evidence of wrongdoing.
Challenge them, is that right?
No, that's not right. I don't know. From what I saw, I didn't see any wrongdoing on the part of the election judges, and it's really not a hard and complicated call. I mean, there are just a very small number of reasons why a ballot like that can't be received. It's not discretionary. Somebody can't say, well, gosh, I'm all for America. I'm going to let this vote happen. Everybody knows that there's a reason for those simple procedures to be followed, and that's to make sure that it's a real vote.
So it's the voter's fault if this is rejected?
It's the voter's responsibility, and it's the voter's duty to see that his vote is properly cast and counted, yes.
So the shaking-handed people, that's right.
No, that's not true, and I can't think of a single instance in this election where anybody can say that's happened. We want people to vote. We're absolutely in agreement with the Franken campaign that we want a full, fair recount of, or at least I hope they want a full, fair recount of every vote that was actually properly cast. If they weren't properly cast for some reason, then they don't deserve to be recounted. It's really that simple.
Enough votes among these absentee rejections to even change the outcome?
Well, that's the funny thing. You learn about Florida. Never wish too hard for something. You may actually get it. I mean, I think this is a situation where, for some reason, the Franken campaign believes that. We see no reason to believe that. The kind of statistical, analysis that's been done on our side, I just really don't see it. But I think, to be honest, that this is for an audience outside the state of Minnesota, that we're being basically set up here for a Senate contest inside the United States Senate. It's the only plausible explanation I can come up with for this horseplay.
Have you heard that? Did you just believe that?
That's my perception, and I'm moving forward based on that personal, professional perception that I have.
The majority of Democrats in the U.S. Senate will ultimately decide this election.
I hope not. But certainly it seems to be getting set up procedurally as if to cast aspersions on the election officials in Minnesota and on the election process in Minnesota. And the only purpose I can think of for doing that would be to send it to the Senate. There's really no excuse for that. I think that would be something that most Minnesotans would find outrageous.
Governor, over the last 2.5 weeks, as you were raising questions about the doing of local elections?
I'm talking about what we've seen based on our own review of the reports of the canvassing. And we're right now in absolutely no position to see that anything has been done wrong. And we're a little mystified why the Franken campaign seems to think that something has been done wrong, other than trying to come up with some more smoke, as we say, to cast aspersions on the process. Right now, we're about a full, I keep saying it, but I mean it, a full, fair, and accurate recount. We're pleased with the result today. It's going to get started tomorrow. We're enthusiastic and ready to go.
Brief that the Franken campaign filed?
Late yesterday, I think, and it did go back and forth. And like I said, I mean, that there is a reason why in the judicial process they actually have cutoffs for that kind of thing, because no lawyer worth his salt ever wants to not have the last word. And so it went back and forth. We didn't think much of their arguments, and we certainly let the board know that. I don't know, but it was this morning.
Thank you.
We're expecting to win. We really are. And we're moving forward with some confidence, expecting to win again.
Thank you. This belongs to